I am your host, Alex Jones. Thank you so much for joining us. Your phone calls are coming up. But finishing up the point I was getting to in the last segment, this country is literally marinated in propaganda and disinformation. Any major sitcom or drama or movie I watch is just full of anti-male, anti-gun, anti-family garbage. Or when there is a good male role model, like in Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit that I watched on DVD last night that came out about a year ago, if there is a positive male role model, he works for the CIA. And it's so sexy and it's so cool. And his wife, his girlfriend, just has no idea, you know, how awesome he is. And he's implanted inside the financial sector. And there's a secret war going on with Russia. They're the new enemy. Again, all of this being pre-prepared, all of this being rolled out. And then at the end, he's done a good job. And he's a good Boy Scout, they say. So he gets to go in and he gets to meet with the president. And he walks into the room and meets the president. And it's like he's died and gone to heaven. He's gone across the pearly gates. And the average person watching this literally thinks that the only thing better than winning an Oscar, the only thing better than winning a gold medal at the Olympics, the only thing better than inventing the cure to cancer is to meet with the president. And that's what the big airplanes are about and the red carpets and the shutting down the highways, is this big illusion that the president runs something. Sure, there have been a few presidents like Nixon or Kennedy that tried to run things, and you saw what happened to them. Whether they were good or bad, they were removed by the special interest. Presidents are puppets. And the CIA is a giant, sprawling bureaucracy involved in every evil under the sun, on record. It's declassified on record, 1997 CIA Inspector General hearings in Congress, that they ship in the majority of the narcotics and launder the money. When a cop wants to search your car randomly, you say, well, the big banks launder the drug money. Yeah, I know, but I'm asking what's in your car. See, it's all a fraud. The illegals can protest in front of the White House, but veterans get arrested if they do. Rolling Thunder Motorcycle Group tries to go up there, they get arrested. The illegals do. The illegals get to walk through TSA. You don't. The big banks get to launder the money and get to be tax exempt, and Google gets to be tax exempt, and General Electric gets to be tax exempt. You don't. You're making $10 an hour, you're not exempt from Obamacare and the payroll tax. And the establishment would say, well, they're poor and they're dumb because they were meant to be poor and dumb, and the world needs ditch diggers too, to quote Judge Schmales from Caddyshack. Well, I don't think that you deserve to be lied to and be run over. And there's nothing sadder than a brainwashed minion of this system who has created this weird little sick relationship with the president, like he's their imaginary friend and he's there guarding them, when all he is a corporate governance, franchise, pitchman, president of Coca-Cola. What do presidents do? Presidents of companies go and play golf and go cut red ribbons, and they go hang out with the mayor of cities when they come visit and do public relations. What does the CEO do? They run the company. And the CEO of this country is a round table of the big 6 banks, and under them, Big Pharma and the military-industrial complex. And they are 30 to 40 years advanced of us in technology and have now created technological breakaway civilization. And what we know about it is that it's 30 to 40 years advanced. They can already predict the future, and they've decided that we are to be eliminated and have already set up the plan to carry out the incremental, phased-in actuary to end humanity as we know it.
Game over, man. It's game over.
And so I'm just here saying, hey, do you want to be wiped out? You like your kids going into puberty at 7 instead of 14? Something's wrong. Game over. You like cancer rates being 3,000–4,000% what they were just 30 years ago? Diabetes, same thing. Deformities, brain disorders off the charts. Game over, man.
Game over, man.
Game over. Game over. I can sit here and cover all these stacks of news, folks, and make it real interesting for you. But the reason this is all happening is because the establishment has decided that you aren't going to be existing and your children aren't going to be existing down the road. But first they've got to implode society, so we come to them with hat in hand and will do anything they say to get food and water. And that's why I can drive down I-35 and mainly see good-looking, clean-cut families pulled over with cops searching their cars, because that's who the cops have been ordered to search. They're ordered to search each day a different profile, while the border is wide open. And I literally, every time I see it, want to pull over and go get in the cop's face, who's in a military stance, walking around in their uniform with a scared family. It's a joke. It's a joke. That cop is eating GMO. That cop is full of poison. His kids probably can't even talk a large percentage of the time. When I was over in England a year and a half ago at Bilderberg, there were just at one point like 50 British police there. And a lot of them, it turned out, were listeners and knew what was going on. They were some of the most awake police I've ever run into. They had them from a whole bunch of different cities and from London up there for the event, hundreds of them. But a few of them would try to act imperious and bug their eyes out at me. And I'd walk right over to them and I'd say, I bet you got family members that aren't even that old dying of cancer right now. And they go, why are you saying that? How do you know that? And I literally would go, give me that bag. And I would pull out the London Independent that had a cover story about half of Britons will have cancer by 2025. And I said, you're being murdered. You work for a system murdering you and your family. And I go, and if you laugh now, you won't be laughing later. And those cops would look completely freaked out and would just start freak. You know why? Because they knew, folks. They knew it was all a big joke. They were right there until the robots roll out to control the population, and then they're done. You've already been given time-released chemicals and biologicals to kill you and your family. All of us are walking dead already. I don't know how else I'm supposed to explain this to you. Remember Dr. Eric Pianka at the University of Texas, who cryptically, on his own website, talks about Lucifer and dresses up in druidic robes? I'm not kidding. Last time I checked, it was still up on his site. It's in my film Endgame. And Dr. Eric Pianka said, it's very sad, but my family's ready. It will come soon, the airborne Ebola. It will kill 90% of us, and it will be good. I'm ready to die. And when he gave a speech at the Texas Academy of Sciences, it was in the news that there was a standing 3-minute ovation with tears rolling down their faces as the professors cried as he projected on a giant screen behind him skulls with a red filter. It was a rapture of evil, devil-worshipping death. And of course, even if you don't believe in the devil, it's the Carl Jung archetype. The people there don't know why they get so excited celebrating the death of humanity, but it's the power trip. And they've already given up everything that they were, and they've sold out to evil and to the globalist plan and to the power trip that they're the elite, and they get a thrill like a moth flying into a bug zapper that they are part of this operation. William Benny, the big NSA whistleblower, bigger than Snowden, is scheduled to be joining us coming up in the next hour. He said the ultimate goal of the NSA is total population control. He said it is a move towards totalitarianism by a totalitarian mentality. You see, the reason they've got the jump on us is that even though we know about all the secret medical experiments, killing little kids and the rest of it, shooting people up with syphilis, and the list goes on and on, the atomic soldiers, nerve gassing our own troops, forced abortions, major hospitals killing people with their organs coast to coast, still people have compartmentalized it, and they feel so powerless hearing all of this, they don't want to believe it's actually happening. But it is happening. The numbers don't lie. And so if you want to be inducted into being a prisoner, if you want to be inducted into a total tyranny, if